Chapter 2 Victory Team Zombies? Lu Sheng closed the door and breathed a sigh of relief. It was only when he was in this small room that belonged to him alone that he felt a little more relaxed. The room is not big, with a single bed and a desk in the corner. In the middle is a 2x1.5 black yoga mat, surrounded by exercise equipment such as dumbbells, grips, sandbags, etc. This is Lu Sheng's martial arts training room and lounge. Lu Sheng put down his school bag, took off his coat and trousers, and sat on the yoga mat. He came back immediately after school. In fact, he mainly wanted to exercise more, so that he could make up for the qi and blood that had fallen due to nightmares in the past 2 days as soon as possible. At his age, all aspects of his body are developing rapidly, which should be the stage when his blood value is skyrocketing. Unless it is an injury or a serious illness, it is almost impossible for the blood value to drop. So this kind of thing that happened to Lu Sheng is very serious, and it must be corrected and contained in time. After calming down, Lu Sheng took a deep breath and said silently in his heart, "The 13th set of radio gymnastics, start." Afterwards, Lu Sheng's body began to move one after another. These movements are somewhat similar to yoga, but they are very different from yoga. It is quite appropriate to use gymnastics to describe them. The 24 styles of martial arts practiced by the World Martial Arts League are said to be created by the masters in the Martial Arts League based on ancient yoga, ancient martial arts, ancient jiu-jitsu, etc., and are most suitable for laying the foundation for beginners of martial arts. But the version I'm practicing now is the 13th version after revision and correction, and the effect is several times better than the first version of the first generation. Since more than 300 years ago, the world has undergone drastic changes. There have been cracks in the sky and the ground, and a large number of strange and terrifying monsters have poured out. The development trajectory of this world has completely changed. After most of the hot weapons lost their effectiveness against monsters, humans began to find new ways and means to defend themselves. Perhaps because of the appearance of monsters facing the huge pressure of genocide, a certain genetic lock in the human body was broken, and individual strength can easily climb to a height that was never imagined before. So martial arts began to shine. Martial arts are developing rapidly and changing with each passing day. Until now, the practice of martial arts by the whole people and their efforts in cultivation has become a social trend. But even so, humans are still at an absolute disadvantage on the battlefield of competing with monsters for living space. News of the fall of towns comes almost every day, and the human population continues to drop sharply. This is also what the head teacher often tells Lu Sheng and the others. You were born in an era of turmoil, and you must shoulder the responsibilities of this era. You are practicing martial arts for the rise of mankind, and each of you is the spark of martial arts. Whoosh! Lu Sheng stopped his body movements and slowly adjusted his breathing while sitting on the yoga mat. He performed the 24 movements of the body refining technique 3 times in one go. A thin layer of sweat broke out on his body, and his originally pale face became a little more flushed. If you don't have nightmares anymore, you should be able to make up for the missing qi and blood in a week. Lu Sheng thought silently in his heart. So far, Lu Sheng has not found the reason for his nightmares. He has checked the information on the internet with his mobile phone, and there are generally 4 reasons for nightmares: sleeping position, diet, illness, and spirit. The first 3 factors can be ruled out. Could it be caused by the psychological pressure of the approaching college entrance examination? Lu Sheng could not confirm. It stands to reason that a person like him who has experienced 2 college entrance examinations should have a much better psychological endurance than normal people. Not so. Lu Sheng rested while thinking wildly. Thinking about it, sleepiness came slowly like a tide. Lu Sheng yawned unconsciously, his eyelids drooped, his body slowly lay down, and he gradually fell asleep. The lead-gray sky, the black earth, and a hint of gray mist permeated all around. Depressed, hopeless, desolate. The first time Lu Sheng woke up, what he saw was the scene in front of him. "It's this nightmare again!" Lu Sheng was completely helpless. "Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!" Lu Sheng grabbed the flesh on his arm and face, trying to wake him up from his dream, but to no avail. Until a certain point in time, he will remain in this nightmare. There was a strange sound in my ear, as if someone was stuck in the throat, accompanied by a rustling sound of mopping the floor. "Coming!" Lu Sheng wailed in his heart. Soon, the gray fog not far from his left dissipated, and a tall, stiff human figure appeared in front of him. The humanoid's complexion is gray, and the eye sockets are deep, and there are no eyeballs in them, only a pair of holes. There is a long gap on the face, and the gray-white facial bones and black flesh and blood can be clearly seen. The doll was stiff and slow, wearing a jumpsuit similar to the Victory Team's uniform, but it was already dirty, with mud everywhere. It's almost exactly the same as the zombies that Lu Sheng had seen in the movies of his previous life.